Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK. I'm the president, founder, and chief listening officer here at our network. Our show today is the Corner Bookstore, and a woman who knows all about books from all around the world and who creates award-winning content is with us. She's my friend and the co-host of the show. Let's welcome Diann Floyd Boehm. Hi, Diann.
Hi, Dr. JACALYN. Great to see you.
Nice to see you as well. And I'm always amazed at how much you are able to put out into the universe. And always at the highest level. I know we're celebrating a new book, and we're going to be talking about that today as well. So how are you doing?
Very well. I have a scratchy throat, so I apologize to all the listeners, but I am happy to be here.
Fantastic. Well, Diann, I'd like to start off with playing a couple of your sponsorships, because this is really a great way for people to get to know who you are and some of the things that you've accomplished. How do you feel about it?
Oh, that'd be great. Thank you. I'm so proud of them and everything else, and you did. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Let's take a look.
Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Story Garden. Your host, Diann Boehm. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Diann Floyd Boehm tells wonderful stories that warm the heart, spark the imagination, and unite people and families across generations. For children, Diann's Harry the Camel connects with all of us who've ever wondered how different our lives might have been if only we'd been born something better, like a wonderful horse instead of an ordinary camel. In the end, we all learn along with Harry that there's nothing better than just being yourself. Diann's Little Girl in the Moon looks down on earthbound children and wonders if they know she's just like them. A story of love, home, and the bond between mother and daughter, its powerful theme that we're each of us different yet all of us the same plants a seed in children that promises to blossom within a loving and trusting grown-up. Diann's new biography, Rise, recounts the experiences of her grandmother, Ruby, to reveal the hidden strength of the human spirit. Ruby's story inspires all of us to become the best versions of ourselves. You'll find all of Diann's delightful books and much more at diannfloydboehm.com. Visit diannfloydboehm.com. That's diannfloydboehm.com.
I never tired of that.
I don't either. It's really wonderful. Now, tell us, the book Rise is a different genre than the children's book. So tell us a little bit about that.
Sure, I'd be happy to. And you're absolutely correct, Dr. JACALYN. It's a historical fiction for young adults, and it's based on my grandmother's life. And the purpose of the story is to, if you have a dream, and you think, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to do it? I don't have the money or resources or whatever. Rise is a story for you to read, because if a woman in 1904 can figure out how on earth to go and receive a degree, you can go after your dreams too. So I found my grandmother very inspiring, and I felt in this day and time, people need to be inspired. And what better way to do it than a woman who, was supposed to get married because that's what you did in 1904, that generation. And she was like, nope, I'm going to become educated. And so there she is. Am I lucky to have her for a role model?
And Diann, I think it's wonderful that you are recognizing her and bringing those stories. The younger generations have different viewpoints on how things are versus the older generations. And I know my grandmother was probably from the same generation as yours, and they really looked at things in a very different way. And I think it's, there's no judgment, but I think it's good
Mhm.
to keep those stories alive and to inspire people that no matter what has happened to you, you can pull yourself together somehow and make your dreams come true.
I agree. And family history is so beautiful. And sometimes I know as a teacher, I had students who said, I just don't know how I am part of this family, and but with the help of their mom and dad and finding out the history of their own family, they discover, oh, they're kind of like their great grandparent, and it gives them this new added sense of energy and identity. And so I think it's really important to know your family history. Where did that nose come from, and your cute little eyes? And you don't need plastic surgery. You're just perfect the way you are. I know. I have a picture of my daddy. And, there's parts of him that look just like General William Floyd, who was one of the first people who signed the Declaration of Independence. And when you look at my dad, you can see, here he is born in the 1900s, and here is a gentleman born in the 1700s. And there's similarities. And even when I was at the Floyd Museum and the people were looking at the two, they were just like amazed at how much they look alike. So I want people to embrace their family history, find out where they got their different, gifts of writing, storytelling, painting, because there's some hidden gems of family in there. And I think they will inspire them too.
I agree with you, Diane. Have you used any of these search companies where they can take you back to your original ancestry?
Yes. I have always been, way before there was the software, very much interested in family history. And my mama says for sure that my great grandma whispered in my ear, you're going to be the family historian. And so I grew up around walking through the graveyards. And now this is your uncle so and so, and this is your great 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 grandma. And I said that to my kiddos. But anyway, yes, the stories are very important. And I lost the question. You forgot me because I got so excited about history. Oh, the software. So Ancestry came along, and I became really big in Ancestry. And actually, when I was a classroom teacher, and some of the first software came out on CDs for family genealogy, I introduced it to my students as well at all the different grade levels, from like about fourth grade to eighth grade, and with the parents' help and permission and so forth. And we did small family trees because I'm such a believer in it that we added that to the curriculum. And one of the great things about being in a private school, you can, throw things in.
I love that. Diane, have you ever thought about going back to teach, or is that something that chapter's closed?
No, I miss being in the classroom. When I'm in the classroom, it's like this energy comes through me, and I just could, I'm just home. I love hearing what young people have to say, where they're coming from. And so I really try to get into the schools, and thank goodness, the schools are back open. But if I was younger, I would probably open my own school. I always dreamed of having my own school. And I would do it very differently than what we have today, for sure.
So are you putting it out there that you might start your own school, or is that on the
Yeah.
list?
Oh, no, but, I do still dream about it. There's, some really great ways to, that the schools not we had the little small schoolhouse, the one-room schoolhouse, but, up in Pennsylvania, some of the older schools, early on, they had what was called hexagon schools, and I really fit into that frame of a teaching style, so that the students could go to all the different centers. You had the set goals, but they chose how they wanted to learn and achieve the same goal. And I really like that because it sets the kids up for success. And that kind of fits in with my philosophy. So, but I think I'm going to actually, it's interesting that you asked that, because I think I'm going to start substituting for homeschools and so forth. Yeah,
Wow. Good for
yeah,
you. That's
yeah.
exciting.
Because I miss the kids, I really do.
So
So
when will we be starting this?
I don't know. I'm just looking into it.
Okay. Maybe next year?
And who knows? I mean, if I get invited to be in a lot of schools, I might just be in the schools naturally for teaching and helping with creative writing, which would be a blast as well. Plus, you get paid.
Love that. Doing what you love and getting paid. What a
Yeah,
concept.
yeah, yeah.
All right, Diane, we're going to take a look at the other clip that we have here, and then we'll chat about it.
Kapayapaan, kapayapaan, kapayapaan.
Diann Floyd Boehm's A Song of Peace tells the story of a young lad named Tommy whose fervent wish for peace on earth touches the hearts of his friends and family, spreads to his community, and eventually unites the whole world around making his dream of peace a reality for everyone. Sit down with the children in your life and share Tommy's amazing story of love and hope. Sing your own song of peace and invite the children to join you. Tommy's tale is more than just a story. It's a movement, and everyone's warmly welcome to take part.
Kapayapaan, 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 kapayapaan.
You'll find A Song of Peace, along with many other wonderful learning and enriching opportunities for children of all ages, at DiannFloydBoehm.com.
I love that story. The angels helped with that one for sure. I think what's so beautiful about that story, A Song of Peace, is that in all generations, we always want peace. There's a lot going on right now, and my heart is very saddened for places that are not in war-torn places, let's just say. And I think A Song of Peace is a way for us to really stop, even for a moment, and just say the word peace and just put it out there and really pray for it. And because I'm such a believer that if we can have peace in our heart, and if the leaders could just come together and figure out ways to be able to discuss instead of drop bombs, that it would be such a beautiful world. And in the Song of Peace, Dr. JACALYN, I went ahead and got it out. It's this book right here, and the artist did such a great job. And in it, so Tommy's a little boy, as you heard, who just wants peace on earth, and he's singing about it. And I try to encompass all the different languages in the world so that everyone is involved, that it's a world thing. It's up to all of us, excuse me because of my voice, it's up to all of us in the world to work on praying for peace on earth so that everyone can have an opportunity to go home and be with their family and just be grateful that for a moment in time, we can have peace on earth. Thank you, Dr. JACALYN.
Beautiful messages and beautiful illustrations. Diane, would you like to read from your book for us?
From this one?
Yes.
Sure, I'll be happy to. I'll need to grab some glasses because, Dr. JACALYN, with age, somehow we have to wear glasses. So anyway, don't I look intelligent?
You look very intelligent.
So let's see. Okay. I think the angels have given up on the grown-ups and have gone back home to rest. Do you think you can wake them up all by yourself? Mrs. Seals asked. And the little boy replied, I don't know. Maybe people will help. You could help. Mrs. Seals smiled and started singing, Peace. And Tommy's mommy came over and she joined in too, singing, Peace. And pretty soon people from all over were singing peace, and Tommy made the nightly news. When people heard this, people from around the world began to say and sing the word peace in their own language. And before you know it, the angels woke up and they thought, maybe for sure people really do want peace on earth. And pretty soon the animals in the forest and the meadows heard the singing and joined in the chorus. And the birds seemed to sing louder as they flew about their day too. So we have the animals and even the birds singing peace. Thank you, Dr. Jacqueline.
I love it. It's beautiful, Diann.
Thank you.
You know, to your point, I just I just shared this information on the Talking Head show right before about arguments, and arguments lead to war. They lead to all kinds of unpleasant things. And if you do any research on arguments, it's basically people not listening to each other, and somebody's got to be right and somebody's got to be wrong.
That's correct. And that's what I love about your listening mentors. And I hope one day you can do that with Congress, maybe.
I would love that.
Because truly it is, I mean, we get our own mindsets, and this is in all kinds of things, not just in politics. We have it set in our mind that this is what's going to happen, and then someone comes in and they have it set in their mind that this is the way it's going to be, and instead of looking for a happy medium, they butt heads, and in the end, but what has to happen? They come to a compromise. So why can't we just start with the compromise?
Right, start with the compromise.
So
it's a great point. We feel set in our ways about something, and then somebody kind of triggers us, and that flow of emotion starts to come up, and we're no longer listening. Now we're acting or reacting, and it's sort of a domino effect across the world.
Yeah, it's very, very tragic. And, you know, even when it comes to like food and grain and so forth, each country feels they have a way it's supposed to happen and that they should be in charge. And just, why don't you just let the person grow his grain in his own backyard?
Well, Diann, I think it all comes down to a 3-letter word called ego.
Oh,
It's all about ego. It's not about the heart. If we were making decisions based on heart, that would be very different in this world, wouldn't it?
yeah, it would. Very, very good point. And I also like the fact that you said that we react instead of listen. So
As soon as we react, we're not listening anymore.
yeah. So you're the master of this. I don't know how we can fix this.
Well, put it out to the universe.
Yeah, I do. You know, when in your classes that you have, what I really appreciate is the role playing, because for many of us, we're visual learners. And I think that in this day and age, with so much media, younger kids are becoming more visual learners as well. And by having the role play, people are able to, you know, they have their auditory skills going, they have their visual skills going. And so I think it's very successful.
Well, thank you. Just a little off topic, but on this topic, we had a course for a large group of people in their 20s, the power of listening. And it was interesting to have the whole group was primarily of a certain age. And I asked them to put into the chat on a scale of 1 to 10, how effective do they think they are as a listener, and then what would their circle of friends and family, and their ratings were all fairly low. They were all a 5, 4, 5, and 6. And after the class, a couple of them put 11. And I think they said it was the role plays were really what was so helpful, because we can't see it in our own behavior. I know myself, I get triggered by certain things that happen in this house that I think are dysfunctional. And I know that I'm going to get triggered, right? And I'm already starting to dread it, because it's the same things happening every day. And long story short, I talked to someone about it, and they said, well, instead of getting triggered about it, when you're cooking dinner, for example, think about a time when you were really happy, something that you really enjoyed doing. And I thought, well, I don't know. And I did. And you know what? I was not triggered. So I was able to be fully present and listening instead of thinking about how angry I was getting.
How it's irritating you.
Yeah, irritating. So I think, just to close the loop on that, I feel like with the arguments, and the disagreements across the world, when we start with ourselves and realize it happens in a second. You can feel your heart start to race, and all of a sudden you're like, you just feel it coming on because someone feels differently than you, or they're
Mhm.
challenging you, or
Mhm.
whatever it is. So instead, we just take a deep breath and just relax and say, okay, this is actually not about me. This is
Mhm.
about the other person. And it's hard to
Mhm.
do, but I am in an environment now where I don't have any arguments. And I haven't probably for 2 years. It's so nice.
It's so lovely, so
So
lovely, and
nice.
um, I think whoever gave that advice gave good advice. I think I shared with you before when technology was brand new and computers were being brought into schools, and there was a few of us around the world who embraced these new computers, and others were like, "But I already teach the best. I don't need that thing in my classroom." And yet it was something that was going to be demanded by the administration. And I had embraced the computers. I saw the power of them. The Apple IIe was one of the first ones, so with these little floppy disks, and then we moved into the Macintosh, and I just tell you, I just believed in it and started training teachers and so forth, and I remember walking down some of the hallways, and you could already feel the chill as the teachers would glare at you like, "Don't you even think about coming to my classroom," you know? And I remember being very sad about it and knowing that I would have to do that. And a beautiful woman at church who was kind of a spiritual advisor for me, Louise, she just said, "Diann, what you need to do is just take a deep breath. You know, you need to walk down the hall. You know, you're going to have to do interaction and just smile at the teachers and let them feel. You're not going to change how they're going to feel. So let them feel. And you just keep saying in your mind, keep loving your heart, keep loving your heart, keep loving your heart. And eventually they'll turn around." And sure enough, they did. So it was a growing experience for both of us, but it was allowing them to have those feelings of anxiety that was needed in order for them to get past it and embrace technology, which they all did and ended up loving it in the long run. So,
A great share. Thank you for that, Diann. And I'm glad you
mhm.
brought up technology because so many people, even on this platform, they're intimidated by technology, and you can just see the escalation taking place. It's like it's energy, right? There's energy everywhere. And so my point is that if we feel like that about a computer, imagine how we're going to feel about some other major world issue. We have to keep it in check, really. It's not going
Yes,
to
I do.
it's not going to always work, right? So it doesn't work.
Right.
It's like this morning, I could not hear through my headphones. Nothing I didn't change a single thing. And the show had to go on. So what did I do? Did I go and make a big deal? Did I say the headphones aren't working? I know what's going? No, I just unplugged the headphones and the voice came through the computer, and that was it. And then in between shows, I shut down the computer and started again, checked my settings, and it was good. So my point is, it's all about how we show up and how
Mhm.
we deal with whatever's been presented. And if we want to continue to get highly emotional and judgmental, we end up in a world where we have war and we have discourse, inflation, recession, supply chain issues. And so
Yeah.
we could go on and on and
On and
on
on
and
and
on
on.
and on.
Oh, can I just get the magic wand and wave happiness?
Peace, peace. Well, we have something else to talk about, which you just had an announcement earlier in the week. Let's hear about that for your latest project.
Sure. Everyone, it takes a long time to get published. And so this is a dream that, and a person once said to me, "Look, Diann, it takes a long time to get published, but once you do, you're going to find out that it's just going to be book after book after book." And I was like, okay. I'm like, oh gosh, could that ever come? But you know what? The person was correct. And so I'm very proud to say that now I have a book called A Time to Fly that was illustrated by Nancy Hoover, who's a famous artist here in Austin, Texas. And I'm super charged about this book. The story is so beautiful, and it's a story that is written for all of us in a way, because there's moments in our life that, do we really want to step through that door? I'm a little nervous. That's no different than the bird wanting to, I don't want to leave my nest. I'm really happy, but finds out when it does take off that there's a whole new world out there to discover. And that's what A Time to Fly is all about. And the illustrations are just incredible. So detailed, very realistic. It was done in watercolor. Look, and this is based on something that happened in my own backyard. And so she was able to actually use pictures that I took of even of the bird who didn't want to fly. That's how I came up with the whole story, is because it actually happened, Dr. JACALYN.
The illustrations are beautiful, Diann. And I have a question for you, and for people who are looking to publish a book, whether it's a children's book or some other genre. How do you determine who you're going to work with for an illustrator? What's the size of the book is going to be? How many pages? Do you have some formula that you use for this?
Excellent questions. You know, a lot of people use the same exact artist because they want to be known for a certain style. For me, knowing how long it took for me to get published, I wanted this opportunity for illustrators to be published as well. So I'll look for different illustrators based on the story. And I will share with them bits of the story first, see if it inspires them. And if it does, then we go to the next step. And then they can just outline ideas of what they see in the character. So we'll have little discussions, and then we might decide that, you know, we're not a good fit, or we are a good fit. Sometimes I really want the story to be bright colors and brilliant and a very strong acrylics, and sometimes I just want soft watercolors. So based on the illustrator and how they see it, then we can go from there. And generally, the rule of thumb is you really shouldn't tell an illustrator how to illustrate. They have better ideas than you. But I don't know. I like working together, and generally, I'll always give in to the illustrator. But I love the idea that we can work together. That isn't the case when you, like, I'm a hybrid publisher, so I get to have a lot more say in what happens. Other people who work strictly with the publishing company, once they turn that story in, they have no say over the illustrators. So I'm very picky about my illustrators. And I think I've ended up with some really great ones, from Sri Lanka to Maine, all the way here to Texas.
Well, it's definitely working for you, Diann. So thank you for those tips. And then also, how do you decide the audience for the books?
Oh, well, the stories come to me first. And once I've written the story, then I pretty much know who the audience is going to be based on the reading level. And also some of the things I do, mainly before schools had closed down, but I hope to start back up, is I would generally always read a story to the kiddos and get their thoughts and ideas and what they liked and didn't like. And then I'd go home and work on it. And then I'd come back to that same class and go, how did I do? And the kids are like, I'm so excited that you like and value what I have to say. And kids are so brutally honest with you. Like, you know, I really didn't like that character. Can you get rid of it? So, can Harry have two humps? So, but anyway, it's fun. So the kids, I generally will read to the kids with the age level that I've intended the story to be. But I also like to see that even if it's not a book that they can read to them, but it's a read along with the parents or a loved one, that the kids can understand the concept. And then I'm able to say, okay, it's for 4-year-olds and up with a reading level of 2nd grade. So the teacher in me comes out. Can you tell?
Yes. No, I think that's really important. And when you think about it, if the the kiddo is not able to read and someone's reading the book to them, do you take into consideration that the reader is older, and so how do you decide which vocabulary you're going to use? Are you using vocabulary for a 4-year-old or for the person who's reading?
For the person that it's written for the child.
For the child. Okay.
Yeah. So definitely for the child, because otherwise you would lose them if they were always like, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? That wouldn't be good. And what you want is a kind of a rhythm in the flow, and the kids will start memorizing the words, and that's quite lovely. And even in this book, A Time to Fly, this one here, or with any of my books, the kids, when they're younger, I just tell the parents, I'll make the suggestion, let the kid make up the story. Now that they've heard the story, let them look at the picture and let them tell the story, because you can help develop their verbal language and also their sense of retention of what the whole story is about. That's very important.
Really important. I'm wondering, Diann, in addition to everything that you already do you also do any book coaching? Can people hire you as a book coach because you have such incredible knowledge?
Oh, you're so sweet. No, I don't do book coaching, but I have a book coach.
So there, you know yourself and what where your boundaries are. So
absolutely.
You can just, in fact, you introduced me to my book coach, Red O'Laughlin.
That's right. He's amazing, isn't he?
Yes, he really is.
Yeah.
We'll be seeing him a little bit later this afternoon for 2 shows. So,
yeah.
So Diann, of course, that's not all. There's another project. Are you allowed to talk about this one?
Let me see. The one I told you about yesterday?
No, the other one.
The other one? Yeah. Okay, you have to give me a hint. I have so many.
Car.
I'm totally thrown off.
The password is wheel. Wheel. Car, wheel.
I had to have no idea what you're talking about.
Tire.
I am just totally blown away.
It's a project that you have?
With you?
No, not with me.
Not that one? Listen, everyone who's listening, I hope you're laughing because I have a lot of projects going on. And the one that I am so relieved that's taken a lot of energy has been all this historical studying for the follow-up to Rise, a Girl's Struggle for More. So I'm still on a high that I got to send off the first draft of 20 chapters. So my brain is still there, Dr. JACALYN.
That's okay. I just don't know if you've announced it, so I don't want to say it in case with your publisher you're not allowed to announce it. So I'll tell you later. But
okay.
Yeah,
you can tell me that. Oh, I know what you're talking about now.
Okay.
No, it'll be no. We can announce it.
Okay,
because we've done the cover reveal, but it'll be an October release, and it's called Charlie and the Tire Swing. Car wheel, the tire swing. Yeah, and I'm super excited about that one too. And you'll be hearing a lot more about that. And I'm sure I'm going to have to do a new commercial for these 2 new stories. That is so funny because I totally think of Charlie and his imagination. And so, guys, that's the a little tidbit is that a little boy named Charlie, and he's on the tire swing and has a brilliant imagination. That's all I can tell you for right now.
That's good. I like it.
But I can read you a little bit from this.
Oh, yes, please do.
And then I want to talk about your books before we run out of time.
Oh, fabulous.
So, boys and girls, so there is a little bird who doesn't want to fly. He's very scared. And he's so content in his own nest. So why on earth would he leave? So his mama decides that she'll tell him a little bit of a story, and with each little bit of tidbit, he'll flap his wings so he can learn to fly. So the little bird didn't even realize he had a brother and sister because they had already taken off. So here we go. You mean there's more of us? The little bird exclaimed. Sure there are, and we can all not fit in the nest. Why, look at you. You take up the whole nest now, the mommy bird tweeted. Oh, I do. I did not realize it, the little bird tweeted. Okay, little one, I want you to flap your wings 2 times. So the little bird started to flap, but he lost his balance and he fell into the nest. It's okay, tweeted the mommy bird. Now come back out. And the little bird peeked out to see what he could see. And then he ducked back in his nest. Here I am, Mommy, he chirped. And here's the little bird. He went to flap. Thank you, Dr. JACALYN.
Thank you, Diann. Yay! I love that.
I need to do the audio to my books. I just love reading them.
You have to do the audio. I know that it's not that easy, right? It takes a lot of time. You have to be in a soundproof room or something.
Right. There's a trick to it. And I have the trick down. So now I just need to do it. Get rid of the scratchy voice.
See, you could be coaching people on the trick. I'd like to know about it. That's for sure.
It's something everybody knows.
I don't know it.
Okay, so you just go into your own closet because it's automatically soundproof. Set it up so you'll be able to read. And you download on your iPhone or whichever phone you have. I just happen to have an iPhone. They didn't pay us to say that, did they? And there's a certain audio that you have, and you can go from right there and record it, and you have it all set to send in to the audio people who put it into the audio books.
There it is.
1, 2, 3.
There it is. Get in your closet.
Get in your closet. I'd make a joke, but I won't.
No jokes.
Okay, so how about you?
Yes. So I've written 2 books, and I have a third one coming, a series of 7 that I'm doing with, I almost said Diann. Oh my gosh. I'm doing with Mariska Dupree. She's in New Zealand. But my first book is this one. You can't really see it because it's green and black, but it's called Behind the Green Screen, How to Succeed in the Live Broadcasting Business. And this book is really about my career, my health, and why I left the corporate world in 2020. I've made 6 figures every year, except since I left. And I traveled the world and was in 5-star resorts, had amazing clients, but I gave it all up. And long story short, I had a radio show that I was doing, and it was called Rapping with Dr. JACALYN. And as a result of that, we are where we are today because of something that didn't happen. So I'm just going to read a little. This chapter is called Sleight of Hand. The call came on Sunday afternoon. It was Roy. Great news. They loved you. They can't wait to start filming. It looks like your pilot is going to be picked up by the Learning Channel or the Discovery Network. I could hardly contain myself. My excitement was real. This was happening. They were going to film 12 episodes. Fantastic, I said. What was the show going to be about? Roy said several ideas were being discussed, but the most popular one had the same interviewer from the pilot series interviewing me as we followed 3 coaching clients' cases. It seemed interesting, but who were these coaching clients? Roy said I would have to ask my clients if they would share their stories on camera. Immediately, I thought of one of my clients. Knowing what he was working on, I could not think of anyone who would want to televise, not this person or any of my clients. This wasn't Oprah, after all. Not yet, smiley face. I shared this with Roy, who said this was a minor detail. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Dear friend, and that's how I call the reader, dear friend. This is what I call a red flag, a sleight of hand. Now you see it, now you don't. They are filming a pilot series without a topic. Major networks want to pick up the show and they haven't determined what it's about. Right then, I knew. It was my intuition trying to get my attention and get the stars out of my eyes. Roy was good. He had learned from the best. Great buildup. This is going to happen and that is going to happen. And I need to be in regular contact with you. We're going to put your face on the billboard in Times Square. When, I wondered, what was the next step? Roy would take care of everything. The pilot was finally filmed on July 18th. By July 27th, Roy disappeared from contact for a week. Then he popped back up, working on it. Lots going on behind the scenes. They love you. Who were they and what were they working on? Roy went dark and did not return my phone calls, texts, or calls to the office. By September 7th, I knew something was wrong. Would they go to the trouble to bring me to New York and film for the $5,000 I paid? And on a Saturday during COVID? That didn't make any sense. Dear friends, the lesson here is when something seems too good, it probably is. However, that doesn't mean you give up. It would be best if you had facts. When a client was giving buying signals and then goes dark in my corporate career, there is a reason. Is the client too busy to get back to you with an update? Was Roy too busy to contact me with an update? In both cases, in my experience, the answer is no. Something changed. Priorities, funding, budgets, personal alliances. We may never know. I still don't know. What I do know is I wanted my money back. I wanted my power back. Standing between me and all of that was Roy. And then I go on to talk about what I did to get my money back. There it is, behind the green screen.
Wow. And it's really true, those red flags. And I know sometimes I didn't listen and I should have.
You know what?
Should have, could have.
We know in our body, we know if something doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
But we don't listen.
Yeah.
Because we see, like in that case, I saw the stars. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be on the Discovery Channel. I was like, yes. Why would the Discovery Channel want me with no topic?
Right. I can think of several instances in my life that this has happened to me. Ding, when am I going to learn?
But yet, if we didn't go down that path, we wouldn't be where we are.
This is true. But this was a great book that you wrote, and I think it's very helpful to a lot of people.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And the other one, which we don't have time for today, but another time, is Adversity to Awesome. And this book has 12 chapters, and each chapter is a different person's story. And the person actually wrote their story. And then with the help of Red O'Loughlin, we actually were able to take it from first person to third person and make it all the chapters flow together. So there you have it.
Yeah, it's very powerful. I don't know how you would you just sleep 30 minutes a day? I mean, just like
I'm
need your energy pill.
No, my Apple Watch keeps track of my sleep. So I set a reminder for when I need to go to sleep, and then it tracks my sleep. And then I wake up every day at 7:20.
Wow. That's very good. Very good. Yeah. I wouldn't have. And plus on top of all that, you exercise.
Yes, I exercise. I was exercising 7 days a week, but now it's 5 days. And on those 5 days, I'll probably walk 7 or 8 miles and go to the gym. So I managed to get it all in.
That's mind-boggling. Plus, you run a whole network. Connect with all your constituents. And you write books.
Write books, and we have a new song coming out. I'll just play you.
That's right.
I'm just going to play you the music. There are no words, but here's the melody. Can you hear it?
Mm-hmm.
So it goes like that for a little while, and then there's a bridge and a chorus, and
it's very exciting. It's very exciting, and Madeline is amazing.
She is. Madeline Chan is a super human being. I don't even think she's human sometimes. But oh, and by the way, now that we mentioned Madeline, for all of our viewers, in addition to being able to do commercials, sponsorships. We also have jingles available. So if you want to have us sing happy birthday, congratulations, nice promotion, whatever, we'll work with you. Madeline will sing it, or someone on the team will sing it. And then we also have the ability to do full-blown video, audio, customized songs. So if you, let's say you're getting married and you want to have a song written for your beloved and play it on the radio or play it at the event, we'll do a custom song, the singing, or you can sing it yourself, and then also the video that goes with it. So I'm excited about that. You can learn more on usaglobaltv.com.
Wow, that's mind-boggling. Congratulations.
Thank you. Madeline has a whole team of people in a company and a studio and session musicians, and it's they're actually the ones who are producing my song, What Was I Thinking Back Then.
I was wondering how you did that. I think I might have to get with her.
I think you might, yes.
Also, real quick before you go,
Yes.
you and Madeline are also doing a listening course.
Yes, thank you. We have actually now, Diann, I think we have 7 courses. And
Wow.
I think part of the challenge in getting the level of engagement that we would both like to get is because the courses are very esoteric. And what do I mean by that? The first course, the Power of Listening certification course, that's pretty easy to understand, right? It's you want here it is. It's you want to learn how to listen at an elevated level. Okay, so you watch role plays, you were doing this, now you're not going to do that, you're doing this. The other courses are a little more, you've got to go in. You've got to go inside, into your heart, into your behavior. And this is one of the new courses, which Diann, this is the 4.2. You took 4.1, and this is part of it. So this is for you right now. Heart gratification. No, you already signed up for 4.1, so you already have this. So this is heart gratification, male and female energies, and this is, I can't explain it like Madeline would, but it's really a way in the first part 4, let me see if I have that, which is called the transition, where we face the shadows of ourselves. This is where we realize that we are constantly following trends. What are the Joneses doing? You know, what are they doing on television? What are the movie stars doing? And we start changing our behavior so that we start following those trends. And in doing so, we're typically following from a place of ego as a place from your heart. So during this next course, the one I just shared, this is where we now understand about the trends. We have put our ego aside, and now we are showing up with our heart, and we do male and female energy role plays in which I act as feminine energy at a high vibration, feminine energy at a low vibration, masculine energy at a high vibration, masculine energy at the low vibration. And that's what we ask our students to do as well. So that's that.
That's powerful, because I think for us to recognize those different energy levels in us is very important. Not because then we can understand ourselves better, which then enables us to let go of the ego, I think,
Yes.
if I'm understanding correctly, and be able to be a better listener and work together.
That's exactly what it's about. It's about listening, working together. And let's say I'm in a low vibration, low energy mode, and you're in a high vibration, and you and I are trying to work together, and I'm just like, oh, and you're, you know, we have to realize the place that the other one's coming from, and how do we
balance?
How do we balance it out? So,
yeah. Well, that's exciting. So how can people sign up?
Thanks for asking. Actually, all the courses, let me see if I can find it now. All of the Power of Listening courses, and then we have other courses as well that are not mine, are over on, did I get it? Oh,
yeah.
That's so. Caroline. Oh, hold on. Here it is. Okay. So all the courses are here at drjacalyn.thinkific.com. And you can use, for the first course, The Power of Listening, you can use the coupon code LISTEN for big savings. And then Caroline Heward also has a course there, Chakra Psychology. And then I can't bring up all of these right now, but
Yeah.
you can just go over to drjacalyn.thinkific.com/courses. Sounds
really good. Maybe you could send a coupon to the Congress.
Yes, I know where to find them.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So we have to sign off because the film and music show is coming up. Diann, I'm spotlighting you right now. How can people purchase your books, and how can they engage you to come to their schools?
Sure. Everyone, thank you so much for listening. You can find me at DiannFloydBoehm.com, DiannFloydBoehm.com. You can also go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or your local bookstores. You can just Google my name. Lots of things come up. On my website, you can find out who my publicist is, Mickey, and just click on his email there, and you can arrange to have me come to your school. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Diann.
Yeah.
All right, Diann and I are heading on out. I'm going over to the other studio. Diann, I look forward to catching up with you again soon. Have a great day, and congratulations on all your success.
Thank you. And you too, Dr. JACALYN. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
Everyone.